Are we live? Are we live, people? Let us know if we are live.
We're
Got
live,
my
baby. We're live.
got myself here. License plate guy. We're getting pumped for the playoffs.
Can't
Um,
believe it.
we just
Can't
talked
believe.
we just talked with Entertainment on a podcast, and we're like talking
Yeah.
about stuff, and I'm just like getting fired, like I'm literally like banging on the table, like let's go, like I'm pumped. So we are live. It's myself, and then the license plate guy, the number one Giants fan in the world. How are you doing, my man? How's it feel to be back in the playoffs?
Dude, it's honestly, it's mind blowing. I can't believe it that they're actually in the playoffs. Like the last time we were in the playoffs, obviously we were just as pumped up, and then obviously wasn't so good. But we waited this long. You know what's funny? I think Minnie's got a worse boat story than we do, so we should be all right.
Yeah, they're the only team in the league that does have a worse boat story than the Giants, where like people actually got in trouble. Like it wasn't just bad optics. Like it was
Right,
illegal.
there was some arrests going on. What did they call it? They called that the love boat,
The
didn't
love
they?
boat, yeah, the love boat. That was Fred Smoot and gang that did that, right?
No, what? Yeah, Smoot and Dante. Wasn't Dante? Wasn't he a ringleader? I forgot what. Man,
I
that was
forget.
that was bad, bro. It was like bad.
That was like that was a huge story.
Actually, I remember. Like, I think they played. Shit, I want to say, I obviously want to say Green Bay, but maybe it was Chicago. Who knows where they went afterwards? And I remember behind their bench, not the Vikings bench, the other bench, there was like 6 or 7 guys with life preservers, and that was the greatest thing I've ever. If I would have thought of that, it was the greatest thing ever.
It's great trolling. Which, by the way, I hate to start it off the show with bad vibes, but like as the years have gone along, it's like the boat thing has been like, it wasn't that big a deal. Now that we're in playoff week, the thought of our players going to it was a big deal. Like, you know what? It was a big deal for them.
Hey,
I don't
look,
care if it was their day off.
I'm still on the verge that it wasn't. That's just me. Because you could go and have a crazy outing in New York City. It's the same thing.
That's true.
Look, everybody's going to have their own opinion on it. But what's funny is either way, whether it was a big deal or not, they got their asses kicked and dropped passes and this and that. And now, until your ass wins a playoff game, it's always going to be relevant.
Yep. But I feel like we're going to win the playoff game. So what is talk us through like the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, how your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts on DJ, like where are you at with, because as much as we've all been busy, it's like I want to get LPG's thoughts.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Look, I think all of us have this is not a season of ups and downs, although the Giants, this winning streak and then this losing streak, but I don't look at it as ups and downs. I look at it as almost like house money, because I don't know any Giants fan, and I don't even care if you guessed 7, 8, or 9 victories. I don't think you were mentally prepared to go to the playoffs. Even if you picked 14 wins, I don't think you were mentally prepared. Like, holy shit, are we really in the playoffs?
Was this the first year you predicted less wins than the Giants actually had?
I think so. In my life. And you know what? I'll gladly be wrong every year for that, by the way. I was off by 1 win. Damn it. Look, I'm the only roller coaster that the Giants fans are going through right now is obviously Jones and Saquon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely earned a contract. Now, it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, Tynes put out an innocent tweet or something about other teams, and I was like, or it was about Daniel Jones, and obviously he's a pro Jones fan, so am I. And he's like, don't forget about the other teams. And I was like, what other teams? But you know what, Bobby? You let Jones hit free agency, he will be sought after.
Oh, we know CAA agency, like those guys aren't just going to let him go for nothing. I do think most people are actually, like, for the most part, I think most people are bringing on the Daniel Jones, and I think the Saquon conversation might be a little different. But to me, right now, we're in the playoffs where I actually don't even like the contract stuff. We have not discussed it, but maybe 5 minutes, because it's like, you know what? We are in the playoffs. We have all offseason to talk about that. Stop asking me questions about the draft. Like we
Right.
play to win. We don't play to draft. We don't play to play free agency. We play to win.
Yeah, I think other, it never is a topic of conversation until obviously someone brings it up or someone has a terrible take. Like, who was it? Albert Breer came in and saying, I don't think the Giants and Daniel Jones will settle on 15 a year.
Albert Breer goes live and answers literally 50 questions. There's no way he knows all the information that he answers.
I agree.
People take it as insider info.
Yes, I said to myself, I'm like, when I first heard it, I think it was on in the background. I had put it on and I'm like, I looked at my phone and I'm like, does he really know what he's talking? I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I think he just looks at Daniel Jones's name, the New York Giants, terrible organization in his mind. And they're like, yeah, meet at 15. Yeah, you guys would be great. No, you're not going to meet at 15.
Yeah. It's I don't know what the number will be, but I'm pretty confident Daniel Jones will be back. And that's not because even Boomer Esiason either. Like I'm pretty confident that he'll be back.
I agree, and I think it's going to be obviously a multi-year deal, and even give a team option. I don't think it's going to be a Daniel Jones option. I think it's going to be a team option, and we'll have this conversation in the off season when he signs a big deal. And as far as Saquon is concerned, I really think that that Shane and Dable are going to keep this core. And when I say core, I think Daniel Jones is going to break the bank. Saquon Barkley is going to get heavily paid. More than a running back maybe should, but he's going to get it. I'm still in the $13 million mark. If we get it for under that, I'll be extremely happy. And I also think Dexter Lawrence is going to break the bank, and he should get every dollar coming to him.
Andrew Thomas too. I'm going to ask Andrew Thomas to let me break his contract news. And I'm also going to ask him for a cool 10 grand or something. Like,
you know what? I'm sure he will let you do that. That'll be cool. And I'm going to ask Love for the same thing.
Yeah, I like it. We got to be newsbreakers this year. We got to win the Tony Award. Maybe I'll let Danny King do it. That when Twitter started, I was on it in the beginning, heavy. I loved it. I thought it was great. And because I was friendly with some players, you have news and you just don't break it because you're like, that's not what I do.
Right, but I still got in trouble for breaking news. So if it was, I don't know, it could be anything. Hope Brandon Jacobs is feeling well this week. Oh, he's breaking news. Brandon's hurt, and a lot of people in the Giants organization weren't too happy. Like why is he breaking news? And I'm like, guys. So one person came to me, you know who it is, and I said to him, I'm like, I don't break news, bro. And if I broke news, you'd know about it.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of dollars handed out this offseason, but you know what, that happens when you win. With Daniel Jones, though, man, we were just talking with Entertain. He has 100% earned it, and it's not because Giants normal people. And I said this is what I said at the beginning of the season when we were talking about Daniel Jones. And I'm not sitting here talking about how much money he's going to make. I just want to talk about Daniel Jones' play this year. We're what does Daniel Jones have to do to be back? I don't care what your contracts. I'm not answering how much you guys think in the comments. We're not answering that question. When we talked about, I was just in a very normal way, instead of, I can break down stats and film for 20 minutes. It's two simple things. One, I think normal people, not people who are so obsessed with the Giants and normal people have to go and look at Daniel Jones he was pretty damn good. One.
Right. And give me the reasons why. Taking care of the football, knowing how to slide like Daniel, even though he still wants to run over people.
By the way, he is 100% going to run somebody over this week because it's the playoffs.
I mean, he'll never compare to Webb, but that's okay. So look, every single negative that Daniel Jones had, he turned it into a positive. And you can't tell me he didn't.
No, I mean, he kind of went from the comparisons, and kind of rightfully so after the rookie year, were almost Jameis Winston. There's some awesome plays. There's excitement, but he can be very reckless with the ball.
Yep.
Now I do think we should get once we get weapons back, but that's been the thing. It's he's first year in a new scheme. He's operated this offense essentially flawlessly without real wide receiver weapons. Hodgins is a great story. Slayton's is a threat, but he doesn't have a wide receiver one. You look around the league, every team's got a wide receiver one. Almost every single one has one. Except for the Giants, and even a guy like Rodgers, as good as he is, he loses guys like Devontae Adams. The season was not the same for him this year.
Yep.
So it's and I saw people in years past with it Well, just because a guy hasn't had a fair shake doesn't mean that he's good, right? But with Daniel Jones, we've seen him be good without the fair shake, where now he just has coaching. All he needed was coaching to just at least look pretty good.
Dude,
And
the guy is going into the playoffs where nobody thought they would, with James and Hodgins as his 1 and 2.
Look at this. We did this. Now we're getting stat heavy. Daniel Bellinger, Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, and Darius Slayton. For their average depth of target, they are all top 5 in catch rate. Richie James is second for his average depth of target. Bellinger is just highest catch rate in the NFL. No, he doesn't get targeted very short. Hodgins is first for like 8 yards of average. And then even Slayton at like 64% is top 5 for the guys that are average 12 yards or deeper.
Look,
so
we could
like when
talk
people
to
say,
a
can
blue in
he
the
elevate
face.
guys around him? Well, can he elevate? Yes, he can very clearly elevate players around him.
Can he elevate?
Our wide receivers are a career punt returner who was 6th string to start the season.
Exactly.
A guy the Giants were actively trying to get rid of, and a guy who was cut this year.
Yep. Now, I'm just curious. What would you do? What do you let's say the Giants lose on Sunday, which they won't. Are you cutting ties or renegotiating with Kenny Golladay?
Man, okay, so now I get to talk to someone who's just a fan. That was one of the most. A single play has not made me that emotional. You know, like the 2-point conversion. You know, I was just flat out emotional. It's like, man, from that contract, from signing him when 99% of us were excited. You guys can comment, say you weren't. Don't lie, you were excited.
I threw a party.
Oh yeah, me too. I popped the bottle of champagne.
Golladay was the number 1 receiver in the league at 50-50 balls when the Giants got him. The number 1.
Yeah.
I was super excited. I tell this story all the time. Danny, who sits next to me, Danny is a big fantasy guy. I'm not a big fantasy guy because I'd have all Giants and that's it. But Danny is like, every time he'd look on his fantasy or look on the board, is that all I would see is Kenny Golladay, Kenny Golladay, Kenny Golladay. I'm like, shut up with this guy, Kenny Golladay. Danny, the Giants got Kenny Golladay. You know, like I was super pumped. But getting back to what you said, and I'm sorry for cutting you off because I know what you're getting.
Actually think you should. LPG was joking about bringing Golladay back. He's gone.
Golladay is gone. Golladay is 1,000% gone. I can't read whatever you're reading, but it was a joke. Golladay is gone. Golladay will go somewhere and be a very good number 2 somewhere else. And I say that because of the success Evan Ingram is having, the success that other people are having. I do believe he needs a change of scenery immediately. And you know, just like you know, my man who I wanted him. I wanted the Joker bad. I wanted him in the draft and I got him, and he was the devil here. So, and he's going to be very successful somewhere else. And I pray to God the Giants get, you know, some good picks for him. But yeah, Kenny Golladay is gone and he'll be good somewhere else. But again, getting back to your point, and I did catch your tweet and I loved it. I loved your tweet. Yes, you had to get emotional with his touchdown.
It's such a weird situation because Golladay has handled it like a pro, where it's like a total bust of a free agency signing. Like,
yeah,
if it wasn't from the Nate Solder signing, it probably would go down as like the worst Giants free agency.
I don't know. I think it is.
I think Solder's clears. We're still paying Solder. And Kenny Golladay off the field is much less harm than Nate Solder on the field, is what I'll say. The first year, like Kenny Golladay wasn't a horrible receiver last year. Like he was he led the team in receiving with Jones. Like I saw someone here. Let me pull it up. Someone said, "Hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on, because I want to." Someone said, "But Jones didn't elevate Golladay play though." Kenny Golladay was having like some of his best catch rates of his career, but they weren't targeting deep because Jason Garrett wouldn't let him, and then they planned to, and then Jones got hurt. The second play after Jason Garrett got fired, Jazz.
Correct.
So he did do well with Golladay was a good wide receiver last year, and whether it was a surgery, whether he mailed it in or what, he's nowhere near the same player that he was last year.
I'm gonna go with that. I agree with that. And again, I was joking before he's got to go, but if you didn't get emotional for him as a man, as a fan, as someone that, he's not going to be here any longer. Everybody wanted him to get in that end zone, and that was it. What did Kenny G pick up his check?
But the point was, like, as bad as Kenny Golladay could have turned into a cancer or whatever, like, he's kind of just showed up to work, done his job, and he's like been a good teammate for his, like,
yeah.
Like, it's one thing to get benched. They will throw him out there for 2-3 plays a game. And this is like, if it were me, I would be an asshole. I would be like, she's not putting me out there for 2-3 plays a game. Like,
yeah, Kenny, I mean, he has handled it. He has handled it with professionalism. Even when you jumped, I got to tell you something funny. If you follow him on social media, he turned off
his Instagram comments.
He turns off all the comments. After he scored the touchdown, miraculously his comments were open.
Are they back on? That's funny.
I don't know if they're still open, but they were open, bro, because I was able to leave a comment, And again, I had such a shitty experience on Sunday.
Oh, they're
bro.
off again now.
No, they're off. They were on, bro, because I left a comment, so I know it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which I think is hilarious. Let me turn this on, get some love from Giant fans before I'm out of here.
Yeah, but and Mr. Brownstone says, I love, by the way, he is the reason the Giants are winning. Drunk at our North Carolina event saying, I want to win some games. Let's win some games.
Oh, wait. He was the one on the, I saw him on the far right.
Yeah, the one who was holding the microphone out the whole time.
Yeah.
He is like, and
I want to win the games.
The most expensive touchdown in history. Well, it led to the most emotional touchdown.
You know what? Would it be worth the 72? No. Would it be worth the 18 mil this year if it won us the game in Philly?
No, but it would have been fun. We would have enjoyed the moment and worried about the rest later. I also don't think he's going to get any run this week too. Like, I know there's like, well, he got touchdowns playing. Like, his catch rate went down on the year.
Yeah. So come on. That's because freaking Cager went bananas. But Daniel Jones like, Cager, where you at? Cager, where you at? So I lost my train of thought, but it was funny about Golladay or something. I think I lost it. It was good too.
Well, it'll come back to you if it was
100%.
All right, let's get into some questions. We try and do some questions.
Let's go. Playoff week.
So hit us with some questions. I know we haven't answered like a single question besides the Golladay thing.
I can't see him anyway, right? You got to put them up.
Yeah, you could probably see them if you could see. Well, you're on your phone, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, then yeah, you can't see them, but I'll read them out to you once we get them.
You know what? I'm so glad I'm not on my computer because I have such ADHD. I'd be reading them and not listening to you.
I have to do because I am bad about that.
Like I'll be talking about one thing and lead to another thing. I'm so bad at that, bro.
Yeah. We did one live actual podcast this year during the Cowboys, and I was like, I finally had to tell the chat, like, shut up about this. Like, this is a podcast. We're not going to stop talking to us about Daniel Jones' contract. We're previewing the Cowboys Thanksgiving game. Let's see.
Terrible experience in Philly, by the way, this week.
Yeah, I saw you. You did a little video on the way out. What happened with that?
Yeah, I was.
You seem blatantly.
So I try and keep my cool wherever I go, especially Philly. I always tell people it's not the trash talker you should be worried about. It's the 15 other people around that you should be worried about. Because if you get in a trash talk conversation with someone, you're going to get someone from the right and left to be like, shut the F up or cut your hair. And then when you turn to talk to that person, you got another person, you're just never going to win in any opposing stadium. Philly, you'll be in trouble. This guy, it's not the first time I've had a run in with him in Philly. He hates that I sit in his section. I told him I was going to, now I'm guaranteed. I don't care if it's $20,000 a ticket. I'm sitting in your section for the next 20 years, no matter what, I told him. So now you just got me for 20 more years. You want to go for 25? We just kept going at it. But miraculously, by accident, I was getting hit with, ketchup, French fries, some beer, by accident, Bobby. And I had enough. And again, it takes me, here's what bothers me the most about it. I turned around and I'm in first row. He's in the third row. So I couldn't turn around and be like, I had to like, and what bothered me the most was when the game ended and we went at it from the first quarter to the end of the game, like literally the whole game. And I basically was telling him, dude, please shut up about the score, man. Just sit there, shut your mouth and say thank you. And after the game ends, two big guys behind me who I thought really want a piece of me too. They're like, hey, what's up, man? We're Giant fans. Can we get a picture? I'm like, that whole time you couldn't say shit, and now you want a picture? I'm fighting with the guy behind you. You didn't say one word, not one word to help me. But anyway, you got
to bring me to Philly with you, and I'll go to Philly jail for you.
Bobby, I will pay for your ticket, and you could sit in front of the guy so we could never see the game.
I want Danny's half Duke, half Giants helmet. I'll come over the top with again. Like we'll have a party.
Guess what? In all the NFL, what's the one stadium Danny can't wear his helmet in?
No way. Because they're used to people using things as weapons, is what it is.
That's correct. You know what? What set the guy off? Is I laid out like 4 or 5 plates because where I was sitting, the like photo booth was right there. So I used it as a like, just a ledge where my plate didn't have to go down the wall. They went across. And it was pretty cool, but it bothered the shit out of him. And I was like, dude, is that really what's bothering you? Do you want me to take it down? He's like, yeah. I'm like, now I'm adding more plates to it. Yeah. So whatever. Anyway, yeah, I was fired up. That Instagram story, I was fired up.
Yeah, I was wondering. I think I saw it on Twitter, but yeah. So here, I have this question. Is it unreasonable to expect September, October Saquon for the playoffs? And I want to kick it to you, but I want to stay first. I'm spoiling. I may talk about this on the podcast. You know what I do? Because if you want to be a top 5 running back, like with Daniel Jones, we're not saying that he's Mahomes of his position. Mahomes, Josh Allen. But Saquon, the expectation is to be like the Mahomes, Josh Allen of running backs. Where you know what? Like he's played well the last few weeks. We haven't had 100 yards since the Texans game, and you got 35 carries in that game. Like I am expecting superstar plays from Saquon Barkley, not just one. Like I think, like I want him to be the talk of the Giants outside of Daniel Jones after that game, like a Saquon game, like he was versus the Titans. Like
why do you want that, Bobby?
Because if he's going to get a contract playing the running back position. Well, we need to see that like translate in the playoffs, and the Vikings are not going to
why do you want that? And why do you want that, Bobby? Because he is what?
He's our superstar.
So that's it. That's how you answer that. So, Steve, yes. Don't give me this bull crap of October, November, or November, December getting tired. This is what you get paid for. This is what you conditioned for. Go out there and be the superstar that you are.
Yeah, like with DJ, we're not gonna talk about numbers, but I'm like unless DJ has the worst game ever, like I want Daniel Jones back. Like if Saquon goes out there and sticks around the playoffs, like that's gonna leave a bad taste in front of. And again, this Vikings team is not some amazing run defense. They don't stack the box, so that's not going to be an excuse. Like they didn't stack the box in the first game when the Giants were still in that run heavy mode. When they kind of got out of it. So.
Yeah, I'm going.
Saquon does some star stuff like that touchdown he had versus the Vikings. We need more big runs like that, not just one.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks ago. I'm going to say it again on here. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Everybody's coming back. Not Kenny Golladay.
Yeah,
but I mean, and not this guy. Not this guy. That's okay.
No, but license plate guy will come back year after year.
I'm back.
Let's see, what do we got? So and Saquon did have the clutch touch, but I want superstar, not one play. Isaiah Hodgins had a big play versus the Vikings too. I'm not expecting Isaiah Hodgins to be.
No, I want spin move. I want a stiff arm into the earth crust. I want Saquon Barkley.
Chris Mickle says, "What jersey are you wearing to the game, LPG? Going to be rocking Gates myself." Chris Mickle might be the number 1 Nick Gates fan outside of, actually probably even more than us.
More than us, really? Do you know when I became a big Nick Gates fan? I'm going to answer Chris' question in a second. Do you know when?
No.
No. So
the softball game when he won the home run derby.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was already a good dude. I met him a few times, but he came into the softball game at Landon Collins Celebrity Softball Game, and he was hitting the ball out of the stadium. out of the stadium, not in the crowd. And I was like, holy shit. And then he's just Chris, if you, me, and Bobby were sitting in a diner, which actually Nick Gates was for Christmas. He came to my giant tip dinner. He's just like one of us. He'll talk football. He'll talk anything. And he's like, just give me the pie and let me go. Like he's like he's such a cool dude. And you know what else I noticed about Nick, and I never noticed this until last game. Before he straps it up after warm-ups, he hits himself 2 times with the helmet in his head.
I didn't know he did that. That might be something
neither. New. Wild, bro. Wild. Looking for the blood.
DJ without the helmet in the Colts game.
Yeah. With his own helmet. Last game went douche, and I'm looking for the blood immediately. But anyway, I don't know, Chris. What do you think I should wear, bro? I got a lot to choose from here. I don't know, man.
Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley's first playoff game. I feel like it's got to be DJ, Saquon, or you could go like Kenny Collins, like Vikings NFC Championship game.
That's funny. I have a Collins that he was in the mix, but I have a Lawrence I didn't wear this year yet.
Lawrence Taylor,
Dexter, and he could probably it's probably going to get like 3-4 sacks.
Did you wear anything Dalvin related at the first Vikings game?
I didn't, but I saw him, and okay. I loved Dalvin, and hated to see him go.
Yeah, he was one of the more beloved players by Giants fans. Was Dalvin Tomlinson?
Yep. But I don't. That's a good question. I think you're right. I think it's going to be. I'm just going to Jones it out his first playoff game, and save Barkley for Philly.
I like it. By the way, that game against Philly made it to where I want the first preview pod going to Philly. I was like, this team is really good. I don't know if we got a shot. Now I'm like, okay, give me Philly in the second round. I'm pumped. Let's go. I don't care if they're banged up. They're still going to be banged up.
That's right. Hey, let me show a quick question. It was asked. Somebody was one of the Philly fans. They were coming at me for being a baby about how the Eagles sat their players and kept the Giants out of playoffs, but yet why is it okay for you to sit your players? You're being such a baby about it still. And my response was, it's a total different scenario. You kept us out. You guys are not only in, you're not only in the playoffs, you're going to win a division.
So what's so annoying is that, so even if you don't care about them bench, and at this point I don't either, but the idea that these guys bench the play, it's they're benching their players to give themselves a better chance to win the play. They're doing it for a competitive advantage. They're not doing it to tank and just lose on purpose and lose games.
Yes. That's what I said. I just want another perspective because it was bothering me. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just using that narrative against me, and there's not even learn the game. And then I just walked away. So I don't know what jersey I'm wearing. I think it's going to be Jones.
Before I turn this chat off, if you do end up doing the softball game again, we have to send 3 people outside the stadium, at the the Dodger or not the Giant stadium
in canoes.
Yeah, we'll go put out kiddie pools in there or something,
Right, there's no water, but we'll put kiddie pools and canoes out there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, I like this. Get some more questions going. Yeah.
Jared Davis start over Jalen. True or false?
Now, false, double false, triple false. And he had a good game.
Yeah. I don't think I think it's false, but I wish it was true.
No, I know. I just false. Let me ask you something. Is the narrative about Jalen that all of his tackles are made 5 yards down the field? Is that what bothers everybody?
I don't know.
No, I'm being serious.
I just don't think it's good.
His tackles are not in the backfield.
No, definitely not. But that was something that was said about Blake Martinez, and that was you don't know what you're talking about type of thing.
Well, because he has 3,000 tackles.
Yeah, people said that about Blake because Blake had 150 tackles every year.
That's what I mean.
So it's of course some are going to be like that. But Jalen Smith is just he just doesn't read the play and he gets blocked very easily.
And I don't mean that as a negative. I watch the game after and I hear the commentation going on, but I'm not live on Twitter anymore. So I don't watch the game on TV. I don't hear
You don't
James
see
more.
replays all the times, and
Right. Don't hear James or you or Justin or Danny or anybody saying, oh my God, there's Jalen Smith got blown off the ball again. He's not reading the right hole or this and that. I don't hear any of that. And
yeah,
when I do hear it in commentation, I'm like, wait, because I rewind, I'm like, did he? And then I can't go back to Twitter and look what everybody's saying.
yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to really get that down pat.
LPG, favorite game of the season?
Definitely London. I didn't think, first of all, it was London. The weekend was probably the best weekend I've had all season, a couple of seasons. I think the Giants had, what a great game it was, beating Aaron Rodgers. The crowd was mostly Packers fans. I don't know. I think that was my favorite game so far.
LPG,
but Sunday will be my favorite game.
There you go. That's actually the right answer. LPG, who are you betting on to have the most receiving yards for the Giants?
So I think I'm going to go back to Hodgins. I think he's going to be the go-to. I was going to say Slayton, but I believe that Jones has this connection, even though it was Webb last game, but I think he has this connection, and I think they're going to keep it going. I think the Giants are going to pop to Bellinger a lot, but I think they're going to go downfield, and I think it's going to be Hodgins. I really do.
Well, if you want to bet on that,
not James, huh?
Well, I was going to say, if you want to bet on that, the NFL playoff picture is locked in, and it's my go-to place for wild card round action is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To kick off the road to the Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get 200 and free bets instantly. Not after 20 minutes, instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wild card round this weekend. Just place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. You'll get a free bet back up to $10. Action so good, why bet NFL playoffs anywhere else? So
I love it. I'm betting.
Bet Isaiah Hodgins. So
you know what? I'm not. I'm betting James, but I wanted to bet Hodgins.
Okay. People forget that Richie James had more receiving yards than Isaiah Hodgins in that Vikings game, even though Hodgins was a talk because Richie James dropped a pass. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WORLD, like Talking Giants versus the World. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get 200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code WORLD. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Boom.
Let's see. This is actually a great question for me and you.
Awesome.
Actually, maybe not the great because we're biased, but the bias doesn't matter. What are your guys' opinions on Nick Gates not starting at center for our playoff game, although he continues to play better than Feliciano? And do you think Gates will be our starting center next year? We'll save the next year question for later.
No, you could answer it. He will be, but go ahead.
It bothers me so much, and it's not because Nick Gates is our guy. And this is, and I know you have.
He's
to go
a better freaking center. Period.
I know you have to go through this a lot, where it's like I almost wish Nick Gates wasn't my guy because he should be starting, and I don't need people telling me, "Oh, well, you just like Nick Gates." No, he is clearly better than John Feliciano, and he's younger, coming off of an injury. So, and Ben Bredeson's better too. So you're rotating your two better players, and because you signed them and your buddies from Buffalo and your big free agency signing and Feliciano and Glowinski, they get to play through it. Yes, Nick Gates should absolutely be the starting center because he's a better player than Feliciano, and he's younger.
You're just saying that because you're friends with him.
Yep, exactly. That drives me nuts, even though
actually
doesn't drive me nuts.
You got a long way to go, buddy.
I know.
You got a long way to go.
Speaking with, can Landon unblock me?
Are you blocked by Landon?
Yeah, I harassed him about the Caden Smith stuff.
At Bobby Skinner?
At Bobby Skinner _. He doesn't have to, though. I actually don't mind.
No. You mind. Shut up. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Because, I mean, that pick six was like, okay, that was pretty. All right, you talk me through the Landon Collins pick six because that had to be the best. That had to be the best feeling in the world because that is your number one guy. And
yeah, he only because Oh, what? Because I'm friends with him. He's got to be my number one guy now. Like, so, yeah, we have history, of all those charity games we did. So who was it in the huddle that says about to get a pick six? Who was it again?
It was either Wink or Dable.
No. In the defensive huddle, somebody said it before. The Giants put out the video. Whatever. Somebody said we're about to get a pick. We're about to get a pick right here. One of your followers will tell us. But
yeah, someone.
before
Tony
before,
Jefferson. Tony Jefferson.
Thank
Everyone's
you,
saying
thank
Tony
you
Jefferson.
so much. It was Tony Jefferson, but I want to let you know that Landon Collins is very close to Tony Jefferson, and I'll give you a little inside information. Landon Collins weeks ago was on the Humpty Dumpty-ish fence of asking for his release. And I was with him and Tony Jefferson, and I was like, why would you do that? Because so you understand you could be playing somewhere else. Okay, great. Yeah, you probably could, Landon. I understand that. So let's not play anywhere. Let's not collect a paycheck. I don't even know why you would consider. And Tony Jefferson went into this like respectful friend, like this is the way it is in the NFL type stuff. And Landon's already a veteran. I couldn't believe, but Tony Jefferson spoke some God stuff to him. And the next thing you know, he was good to go. But I wanted to tell Tony, which I haven't yet.
I've heard he's a great guy too, Tony Jefferson.
He's phenomenal. Well, I'm only saying that because I'm friends with him. But I wanted to say before Landon got on the field, before Jefferson said he about to get a pick right here, I said, Landon, go do something. Pick one off. He came right back to the sideline after, of course, 53 guys up and down going crazy for him. And he was like, you nailed it. And I was like, I did that. So it was awesome. I felt incredibly happy for him. So did everybody else. It was whoever had that unbelievable feeling for Golladay on Sunday, you had that same feeling for Landon Collins on that interception, because come on, man, he was captain. He was people's favorite player on the team. He had injuries for us, and look what he did. You had a falling out with Gettleman, and then you're not worth it. You can't cover. You can't do shit. And then look, he comes back and he plays pretty well.
Yeah, go make your money, then come back home.
Go make your money and come home.
I like it. Basically, a modern day LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Let's see, what do we got here? George Christopher says, LPG, can I send you a license plate to autograph for my Big Blue Wrecking Room?
First of all, George, that's incredible. If you want me to ruin your plate, I will definitely do that. I would definitely do that.
George, I feel like you just gotta. Maybe I'm giving you bad advice. Just go to find LPG at a Giants game, Fan Fest, and do it. Because
I'll tell you what. You go to Minnesota, and I'll give you one of mine, and I'll sign it.
There you go.
No. But honestly, get in touch with me. I will gladly send that back to you.
That reminds me of something.
You got something for me? You got a plate for me?
I can't believe I haven't given you one. Can you just make plates without registering them to a vehicle?
Yeah, but I won't rock them. Like the coolest thing I have, as far as I guess being LPG is like, oh, this got retired.
There you go. I like that though.
Like you can make plates. Like I'm trying to see, somebody will make me a plate from Aruba, or somebody will make me a plate from the UK. Yeah. But they're not like DMV issued, and I just feel like at this point I have 109. I might as well keep to the. If I was collecting any plate, I'd have 5,000.
That's true. So maybe I'll change. I feel like I got to get some type of Talking Giants versus the World plate. So maybe I'll rock it on my car for 2 years. Maybe I'll even put it on the pool truck that has them get a little rust on it, and then and
then it accidentally fell off on the highway.
Yeah, like the tag I found, and then I'll do that, and then I'll present it to you at FanFest 2025.
Yeah, and Florida, it sucks. Florida only need one, right?
Yeah, only need one in Florida.
Yeah, I remember from my dad's car. That's correct.
Yeah, it doesn't suck actually because you don't have to pay for 2 plates.
Yeah, in New York, they get you all the time. The reason why I have so many different plates is, you go Statue of Liberty, you go Navy, you go regular blue, you go this, you go that, and every time you get them, you got to pay the fee. Do you know that? My last 2 plates? So, Joker, I had to retire Joker 89, but it's still on my Jeep because.
I was going to say, that was your actual plate for FanFest, I remember.
Yeah, it's
Wasn't
still
it?
on my car. It's still on my car because after he got traded, it took me about a month or something to get my lazy ass to go, get a new plate. And the weird part about it was I got F Philly, FPHILY. And then 2 weeks later, I got a notice from DMV saying yeah, we're not okaying that. So then I went back and I did FPHILIE. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we're not going to send you that one either. So I'm still in the mix of trying to think of a plate. I want something against Philly. I have against Dallas. I need something against Philly.
Okay.
I'm
on
always
the
pro. I'm always pro Giants. I'm gonna go F Philly.
You don't have many spaces in the 1, 2, 3. Only
Don't forget, if you put the Giants helmet, you have less space.
well, it's the Florida one.
Oh, for you?
Maybe TGVW. Something, I don't know.
TV, yeah, NYG.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out at a later date. Let's get a couple more things and then I'll let you go. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, no problem. You know what I'm doing tonight, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'm picking that winner for whoever's gonna sit next to me at the.
Oh, you're doing that tonight? So you're doing that on your Instagram, right? At a license plate guy?
Yeah, should this guy win? No, I don't even know who it is.
That actually reminds me of something. I don't think I've ever had beef with you. And I'm gonna tell you I do have beef with you though.
Oh shoot, bring it.
We are friends. Hold on. When you go to License Plate Guy's Instagram, following, search, No Talking Giants following.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Just you and Justin?
Neither. On Instagram. On Instagram.
Oh. You know what? Yeah, that is very true. I'm gonna tell you why, actually. And it's not even cop and please. I feel
because
like
we flood the page.
Yeah, no. I feel on Instagram, it's more of what I'm putting out than it is what I want to see. And I'm not some like higher level dude, but I mostly follow just players, right? So what they have to do and what charity they're doing and where they're going to be next, and then I put that stuff out there. But I don't, a lot of people say like follow me back. I went to I got a couple of Giants. I forgot who it was, Jonathan Casillas, Joe Morris, and somebody else. I took them to like a bar mitzvah. They had a gig. And I took him to a bar mitzvah. The guy wanted a license plate guy too. We had like 5 people in the whole car, and I drove everybody down there. And all the kids, of course, were like, "Follow me right now! Follow me right now! Here's my name." And I think it was Jonathan Casillas. No, I think it was Andre Williams.
The goat.
Andre Williams goes, "Well, what do you have to offer? Like, what am I going to see? Am I going to see you at the mall with your friends?" Like, it was just awesome the way he told the kid, I can't right now. When you have something to add, I'm not talking about you or Justin or anybody talking Giants. But when we hang up, I'm going to freaking follow talking Giants.
Okay, good.
He's like, all right, good.
About damn time. We'll finish it off with this. Kafka getting interviews.
Love it. Knock yourself out, bro. Have a great interview.
I definitely do not want to lose my Kafka. No, definitely don't.
Neither do I.
And
I don't like it now, by the way. I wish they would say no till later.
Yeah. But that's the thing I don't like too. Like that's such a weird thing with the NFL, and I get it. Like we've been on the other side of it too many times in the last 8 years.
Correct.
Where it's like they can't wait, but it's like we have our biggest games in the world, and now this guy's prepping for his dream job. It's such a weird situation.
And wait, what you just said is really true, Bobby. It's a dream job.
Yeah, it's like what they prep their whole lives for, essentially.
Yeah. And it is. It is. It sucks. Now, give me a couple more questions. I like this, and then I'll go.
Yeah. All right. Let's go a couple more questions. But with Kafka, at least, like this is Brian Daboll's. Like this is the Buffalo offense, like the playbook. Like obviously they add and mix it in.
Yep.
But Kafka, I probably repeated this 20. I'm going to end repeating it 20 times until the head coaching cycle's over. That it was a very rare situation where you hire an offensive coordinator, play caller, and he has to learn your playbook instead of the other way around.
That's very true.
whereas like the QB coach, like Dable, the QB coach, and Bobby Johnson, like the main faces on the offense, like they're running their offense. Kafka, the first thing he had to do was like spend time in the office learning the Buffalo offense.
Yeah.
Or not the Buffalo, but the Dable offense. And then someone said, what would happen? I think Shea Tierney would probably go OC and then Davis Webb QB coach. More worried to lose Wink than Kafka. Absolutely. I agree with you, Abe.
100%. That's why Wink and Kafka, I wish it would be after. But, like you said, dream jobs are going to be there. For some reason, this is going to sound so silly, but I think Kafka will get twice as many interviews as Wink.
Offensive coach. It really comes down to offense versus defense.
I agree.
Offensive coaches. I mean, that's last year. I want an offensive coach. Like, let's keep some stability to the offense. It's the most important. I think after quarterback, offensive coordinator, play caller, or offensive coordinator is the second most important position on the team.
Yep. Hey, what's your disdain from McGahee?
The special teams just suck. Now, here's the frustrating thing to me. One, I don't know how to analyze special teams. So, like offense, defense, I could tell you. I'm not just a fan being like, screw this dude, Jason Garrett. Like, no, like this is why. But special teams, it's just our special teams suck. So, and here's the other thing. It's not that it's because everyone tells us, and you're probably gonna do the same thing. Well, he's so well respected, and he's a good job at working people. He seems like probably a really nice guy. He's very nice to the media, so they all talk about how very well respected he is. But I'm tired of hearing it. I want our special teams to be good. I want them to be an advantage, not a disadvantage.
You think Brian Cox would step in and be a douchebag at special teams coordinator?
Yeah, I mean he might on a Kayvon. Or do you think a pre-draft Kayvon interview?
Yeah. Or maybe they just give it to Anthony Blevins.
I don't know what they would do, but what I'm saying is how has our special teams been consistently bad minus like 2019, and this is the one guy who continues to last.
There's two people. There's two people in this organization that are well respected: Tom Quinn and Thomas McGahee. So next question.
Yeah.
And you know what? Take the Scottish Hammer with you.
And just everyone saying he's very well respected. Like there was one reporter who's like, "This guy is the glue that's holding the team together." I'm like, "No, he's not." Stop lying to me.
Who said that, bro?
Emery Hunt, who's pretty bad.
I like Emery Hunt. He's very well respected in his field.
Very well respected. Well, it's also kind of a running joke. It's like, tell me about our special teams and what they're good at and bad at. Stop telling me how he's very well respected.
I think he'll be back, and he'll be back because of Gano, and he'll lose. There'll be some other punter in at least to compete, and some other fixings along the way. But Gano saves everybody's job.
Yeah, but it's like that's the one guy who shouldn't, because he's just a kicker. Like there's no it's like he is his own.
I know
coach.
what you mean. Give me a specialty. Give me a returner. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Or don't get a punt block versus the Vikings. How about that?
Oh.
So people know where to find you. It's at License Plate Guy. You're getting ready to do a raffle on Instagram, which I like. I love jumping in on those. And then whenever you pick the winner, I like to be like, oh, he's dead, Joe. You got to pick a new one trying to win.
You know what? Look, this one was pretty cool. I mean, I thought I was going to get, I don't know, 100, maybe 50 people that are going to donate something. But when I say any denomination, I don't care if you gave $2.
Yeah, you're talking about the Damar Hamlin thing, right? Talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to put you in there. And then, we got over 20, I think we're at $22,000. Now, look, he's got 7 million or something, 8 million or whatever. But I don't know. We're $22,000 of that. Yeah, we're $22,000 of that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you can say like compared to the whole thing, 22,000. But guess what? That's like 7 to 8, 10 more people that you helped, So like it may not look like it takes a huge dent, but it's like that literally changes people's lives. So
yeah, and you know what? I jumped online. I bought a ticket, in the same section as me. It's very close to me. It's not in the first row, but it's very close. And he's probably sitting next to Giants Daily because they're going too. So if I can offer anything, that's what I offered, and I'm going to go pick a winner tonight and see you in Minnesota.
Well, maybe we'll get to talk next week talking about how we're getting ready for the Eagles and how great that game was versus the Vikings. So
I would love
before
it,
we
bro.
jumped on, we both got on and smiled at each other like playoffs. Like we're here. So we need that
Playoffs,
again.
man. Dude, playoffs. It's great. It's a
Let's
great
do it.
feeling. And we waited a long time. And two things that I don't, two things I want. I want every Giant fan to go absolutely bananas this weekend. Just let's go all over the place. Be as positive as you possibly could be. And what I'm afraid of is when they lose, the terrible draft picks, the I told you so, they were frauds. I did a get off social media for a couple of days after that because if you're not happy now, and don't get me wrong, I don't need your well, it was a good try. I don't like that. I don't want that either. But this season is an absolute success no matter what happens here on in.
And the quote, the famous philosopher, Mr. Brownstone, you play to win, you don't play the draft. I love
That's
all
it.
y'all. Let's win some games. And let's go Big Blue. Thank you, LPG.
No doubt. Tell Chris
all
to
love
get in
is
touch
always-
with me. I'll get that plate. And poor Lovey Smith. He thought like you too.
Yeah. Let's go Big Blue.
Let's go.